Every 15 minutes, 50 Americans are diagnosed with cancer. These are alarming statistics, and the stories are remarkable. Some are stories of triumph, and some are not. Some are heartbreaking. But these wave makers are making waves against cancer and giving more chances for hope. Swim Across America has granted more than $100 million since 1987 for cancer research and patient programs.
Think of all the lives you've saved by making waves.
Hope has no finish line.
Hi, my name is Dan Benoit. I'm the team captain of Team Benoit out of Seattle, Washington. My wife's name was Kalani Benoit. The typical family unit, 2 parents, 3 children, Matthew the oldest, Nick the middle, and Annie number 3. Kalani was a very active person. Kalani liked to exercise. She was a triathlete and had completed a couple Ironman triathlons. Her favorite saying was kindness matters and how you treat people. She was just a wonderful mother and wife.
My name's Annie Benoit. I am the daughter of Kalani Benoit. A day in the life of the Benoit family. Pretty go, pretty active family. Nick always found in the garage doing something with cars. Matthew was either at swim practice, studied in his room. I was more of a lackadaisical, more, hang out with friends, and we would always kind of be at the pool too. My mom, extremely active. She was either always on a bike ride or a run or doing something around the house. When I first found out about my mom being diagnosed with cancer, honestly, I didn't think much of it. I thought, okay, we'll cut it out, we'll move on with life. She's the strongest person I know. We're gonna get through this. I didn't think it was actually a big deal.
She had the non-small cell lung cancer. She found out about it when she was training for another triathlon that she was planning on doing with my son Matthew, who had graduated from college. They wanted to do something together. She had some hip issues with her running, and that didn't go away. And so she ended up having MRI done on that, and that's when it was found.
As time went on and as the year progressed, so did the cancer, and she started to get weaker and weaker, and that was very, very strange and pretty abnormal to see. When she was put in hospice, I still saw her, put her hand up on the railing, and she would pull herself up, and I was like, there's hope, like, she's not gonna die. Like, she's gonna be here, we're gonna get through it.
Many rounds of chemotherapy and rounds of radiation. Her cancer metastasized, everywhere, basically, into her brain. So the last course of treatment was immunotherapy. So there were several courses of action, and you kind of run through them, and that's what we did. The message that she gave me is that she wanted to make it to our 30-year anniversary. And we were married exactly 30 years and 10 days.
So she was that type of person. You never thought that, things like that would happen to her. The entire time she just said that she wanted me to live my life to the fullest and wanted me to go to college and, have a great life and not focus on it. And she did that, and she really focused on her family.
She passed on December 20th, 2013. We were all at home. Her message was in her fight. Her message to me was in, how she fought things, with dignity and grace. Matthew Joseph Benoit, my oldest 3 great children. His brother and sister called him the golden boy because he got away with everything. But our involvement with Swim Across America started with him. He was a very good student, a very good athlete, and a good friend.
Matt and I actually met when we were here in the Seattle area. and we were swimming on our respective age group USA swimming teams. It went from sort of like acquaintance, friend, competitor to, you know, true friend at that point, right? Like, he's my college teammate. We did everything together.
And so I got a call in the fall from the emergency room. It was Matthew, and he said, you got to talk to the doctor. And this doctor says, I'm sorry to tell you this, but your son has lesions all over his pancreas and his liver. You know, at that point, basically my world just completely fell apart.
When Matthew got diagnosed, you know, definitely understood the process a little bit more. I understood what the end result could potentially be. So that was always in the back of our mind, but Matthew always gave me this hope.
You're just completely shocked. You know, how can somebody who is so healthy and such a good person receive a diagnosis like that? It's just not something that you're ever prepared for.
You know, 8 months after my wife's passing, and then we get this phone call, it just couldn't be happening again. They immediately put him on heavy doses, like a 10-day regime of chemotherapy right there, just blasted him. And fighting this thing for a while, and he was giving it everything he had. We were on another session or course of chemotherapy at Seattle Cancer Care, and he said, "Dad, I gotta do something here." As he was laying in bed there, it's like, "Get me my laptop. I'm gonna do something." And he goes, "We're gonna do a swim next September, and we're gonna have a team, and we're gonna raise money for Seattle Cancer Care. We're gonna raise money for Mom. I gotta do something." He typed what was on his mind, and he typed why he was swimming and why he felt it was important to swim, and clicked the button, and that's kind of how Team Benoit started.
Matt was a changer, you know? He was a mover, a shaker. He was the guy that, you know, if you got our class together and you were gonna vote, like, hey, who's gonna make like this massive change in the world? It's like, Matt's gonna do it. You know, like setting goals about, like, you know, raising money and you know, changing the world and making it a better place is exactly what you would have expected from a guy like Matt, even, you know, knowing him freshman, sophomore, junior year.
And he called his friend Nathan and said, "Hey man, you know, I need some help. I want to raise some money for cancer. I want my swim family behind me." And you know, all he got was yes, yes, yes.
Swim Across America was a huge outlet for us to, you know, put all the frustration into. He was a wave maker. I mean, Matthew was always extremely determined, extremely disciplined. And he would rally people. He was goofy, but he also had this intimidation factor about him that when Matthew told me to go do something and rally me, I really believed him. I would really get behind his ideas and his values, and I think that's the same with, you know, all of his friends really knew what a great person he was, and he was a great example.
So he didn't get to swim his first Team Benoit Swim Across America. Unfortunately, Matthew passed away. We decided that, you know, as a family, that we had to do it for him, right? He wanted this to be his legacy. He wanted us to support this. So every year, we raise funds in his name.
You do feel very, very helpless, and what do I do? How can I help? And you know, for Matt to find like Swim Across America to create that outlet, I mean, again, that's just like, that's something that he would do, right? In that, you know, he knows that there's this ability to sort of galvanize, you know, people's desire to help him, and he shifted that into, you know, people helping everyone that can be affected with cancer.
But it was Dan Benoit that I soon had the privilege to meet, as well, as he paid the price of his wife and his son. And yet he has been one of the stalwarts in terms of support in many, many different ways. And so we see that kind of history of people that first it impacts their life, and then they become even more involved in the process. My name is Paul Ulrichsen, and I'm one of the co-event directors for the Seattle Swim Across America. Matt Benoit had several communities that have stayed significantly involved. And so for someone who was not able to swim, he is continuing to give and to give and to give in very powerful ways. The whole idea of legacy, of that which we are known for, traditionally is seen as passing from the older generation to the younger generation. In this case, with Matt Benoit, it's been reversed. It speaks to the power of community, it speaks to the power of commitment, and that's the nature of the legacy that Matt is leaving behind, not just for his dad, but probably for a lot of people that don't even know he was, but are being impacted by the funds that are raised and the research that's being developed and the cancer treatments that are coming into use that never existed before.
But my first introduction to Swim Across America was on my drive home from practice one day. I get a call from Matt. Hey, I want everybody, I'm gonna invite everybody up to the Seattle area for sort of two reasons. And one was for Swim Across America, and the other one was to throw an awesome birthday party. The second you get that invite, you're like, I don't care what's on my calendar, like we're gonna go ahead and toss it. This is a sacred day. This is an important thing for my friend, I think an important thing for our community as well.
Nathan Adrian is a teammate and friend of my son's, Matthew. Nathan, you might know, as an Olympic gold medalist, the first person to jump on board when Matthew started the team and asked for support of his teammates at Cal, and has been amazingly supportive of the team ever since. He's not only just gone above and beyond to be a teammate and a friend and to help a great cause, but he's felt it himself.
I had my own issue with cancer as well. I sort of know in some ways what technology can do to change cancer outcomes. I had testicular cancer in the winter of 2018, 2019, and had that diagnosis happened 30 years ago, I wouldn't be here. I got it out surgically, but the change in treatment regimens and the discovery of platinum-based chemotherapy is the reason why testicular cancer is as treatable as it is today. But it takes money, it takes research, it takes good, really, really smart people testing out different treatment regimens to increase the survival chances of people with cancer.
After Matthew had passed, I remember I had gotten a phone call from my dad mentioning that Nathan had actually got diagnosed with cancer. And it's just another one of those moments where your heart just drops to the ground. You don't want to see it affecting people in your community and people that you know close and people that you know are really great people. And that was really hard news to hear.
Because cancer has such an intense connotation when you have to call your parents and tell them, hey, I just went and saw the doctor and I have cancer. You have to call your brother, your sister, and tell your coach and all your friends, and your wife is at these appointments with you, and it's just like, whoa, right? It's like the world essentially, as you know it, comes to an end. For me, they had to go in, that tumor removal, okay, we got the tumor, great, but you know, it was the slightly more aggressive cancer type. So we went in with a second surgery, and I am past the active surveillance portion now. So fortunately, I'm declared cancer-free. So I certainly will be getting, you know, tumor marker tests for myself in yearly physicals to come.
Nathan Adrian is an Olympian. He's an NCAA champion. He's newly married. He's a cancer survivor, and he's a person with generosity and care and commitment. He keeps coming back.
Matt passed away before he could swim in the event, but he inspired his dad and his whole family. Matt also swam on the Cal Berkeley team with a guy named Nathan Adrian. Nathan came and swam with us, and it was really great to have him on board helping us do this. One of the first clinical trials that we were granting contributions to was the Cellular Therapy Lab in Seattle Cancer Care Alliance. In our 4th year, we had contributed $1 million to the Cellular Therapy Lab. We had done, I think at that time, maybe 120 clinical trials. It blossomed into technology, biotechnology that could be used in other therapies, not just cancer with myeloma, lymphoma, but other therapies.
Crucial to that kind of success has been Team Benoit. They've attracted a large number of people. They've attracted people that want to reach out to other people to give. Thus, they've been one of the top 2 or 3 fundraising teams in the entire country. Network of relationships, a large family, a passionate commitment, and a huge cost. And all those things have kind of swirled together to create a very significant contribution to cancer care here in the Pacific Northwest.
Team Benoit so far has raised approximately $650,000. Absolutely, our goal is to kind of knock it over that kind of $1 million mark and keep going. Swim Across America has been an important part of our life since the loss of my wife and my son, as an outlet and a way for us to give back and to give hope to folks that are every year, you know, fighting this fight.
And it's something to Mom and Matthew's legacy for him to, you know, continue to push Team Benoit and continue to promote Swim Across America and make sure, hey, it doesn't matter if you can swim or you can't. Just come, support, donate, do anything, cook pancakes. There's so much that you can do that you don't even realize that you can do. Just show up.
If my son was sitting here today, he would say, let's go. Let's get this thing going. Let's swim so we can help someone down the road. It's needed out there, and this is a way we can help. We got to figure out how the next Kalani or Matt Benoit down the road doesn't have to go through what went on with our family.
Every year, we invite people, we have these triangles, and we invite people to write down why I swim. They're profound. And just to walk up and down and read what's on there, you feel the rawness of what people are going through, you feel the fragility, you feel the hope, and you feel the commitment of what it is that we're engaged in.
There are people of all kinds at Swim Across America. You know, there's swimmers from colleges, there's Olympic swimmers, there's people who haven't swam a day in their life.
Ryan Kanoth.
Tell me what they call you.
Bob.
They should have named him Bob or Rock. Not much of a swimmer. Ryan has a heart of gold and had a special love for my wife Kalani and my son Matthew. And Ryan wanted to participate in the swim and be a part of our swim. And so we figured out a way to get him there.
I know the Benoit family forever.
Ryan is the mascot of Team Benoit. I remember Ryan saying, I'm gonna be in the swim this year. And I was like, oh, that's great. How are you gonna do it? And he's like, your dad is gonna tow me.
Put him in a little one-man raft, and we had 4 volunteers tow him over the 2-mile course. My arm's still sore from it.
You could look at him and raise the question, how much can he do? Well, I think one of the greatest assets that he brings is the heart that's in him, that feels strongly, that feels passionately, and he will do anything he can. And bringing that heart speaks to a lot of people.
And that's the kind of atmosphere that Swim Across America creates. It's really to build each other up, and you're not there to win. You're there just to support and to be there and watch others, and just, it's a community.
First and foremost, I believe in what's going on. I've seen lives transformed. People that can now say I'm in remission, people that can now say I'm cancer-free. It's moving, it's empowering, and I want to spread that story that there is lots of hope to be shared.